What's the problem? I'll tell you what the problem is. The problem is that the current intervals system are unnecessarily, confusingly, and incorrectly using 3 different units of measure at the same time, dropping the most fundamental unit of measure from the term entirely. Why? Why would you do that? Making a devastating error on the second most fundamental measurement term in the measurement term. That's not good if you're trying to communicate with people. Stuffing an unneeded third measurement term in the measurement term, causing more confusion than clarification. These are problems, and I'm telling you, anyone that deals with this stuff for any long amount of time knows that these are problems. They just don't say it. It's like having President Joe Biden over drooling in a corner. Everybody knows there's a problem. Everybody knows there's a problem if they've dealt with this, but then they say, no, there's no problem here. I'm sick of the gaslighting, okay? I'm sick of the gas. You could take your gas and you can use it to drive off a cliff for all I care. Because I'm sick of it being used to gaslight me and other people. Let me tell you what I mean here. These are going to be measurement terms. Intervals are basically our unit of measurement terms. What's the baseline unit of measure within music? It's going to be the half step, similar to the inch being the baseline unit when we're measuring something in inches and feet. So the term, for example, of a major third, you will note, is missing the major unit of measure, which is the half steps. How many half steps are in a major third? You have to just infer it. So, I mean, you would think they would at least call it like a 4-note away major third, including the distance that is the baseline unit of measure in music. But no, they just drop it altogether. And then the 3 over here is a measurement term as well. We call that a scale degree measurement term. However, they made a mistake on how to measure when they used that measurement term. Because instead of measuring from the particular point that we're on, they used that point as the first thing to be measuring from, like measuring the top of someone's head if you're trying to measure the distance from the top of their head to the top of the basketball hoop. No, you measure from the top of their head. You do not count their head as foot number 1 when you make the measurement. It causes all kinds of problems to do that. You would think then the measurement term would be something like this. It would be a 4-note away third. That was all you would need. We have an added term as well, which is the major. You don't really need the major. You would think you already have 2 units of measure. It would be 4 notes away from the equivalent of inches, which are going to be half steps away, and it's going to be a third, even though that's a wrong way to measure because they messed up on where to start counting. It still kind of makes sense as a distance type of terminology, similar to measuring something and telling you the measurement in both inches as well as in feet. So that could be a useful thing, but why add the major? Notice what that's doing. It's really adding another measurement term. Notice what measurement terms are. All we're doing is saying, hey, look, this is our baseline, and now we're comparing other things to it. So we've determined a baseline distance of a note away distance, so now we can compare multiple distances by how many notes away they are. We have this scale degree concept, which again is kind of like a measurement as we're inside of a particular scale or collection of notes as a distance type of terminology, which is a little less perfect, but we'll talk more about that later. So this would be another term saying this is our scale degree units of measure that we're going to measure everything against. You don't really need that. It's going to add more confusion than clarification. Why? Because if I say something is 4 notes away and it's a third, then this third is implying that it's a measurement from a first of a scale degree. So that first might be the major scale, but it could also be the other 2 major modes, which would be the Mixolydian and Lydian modes. So by saying that I have a 4-note away major third or simply major third, when I'm not talking about a major scale, adds more confusion than you need. We already know that it's similar to the major scale. Why? Because it's a 4-note away third, and we know that that's the third in the major scale. So these are the fundamental kind of issues that cause a whole lot of problems, particularly on the guitar, but also on any kind of instrument